Hey guitar players, so is the pentatonic worth learning? Yes. And what's the best way of learning it, and how can it improve all aspects of your playing? Well, that's what I'm going to show you. Okay, so the pentatonic scale. It is versatile. It's nice to learn as your first scale because it's only 2 notes per string. But the real reason that a lot of us learn it is because it's easy to remember right away. So I want to get that down quick and quickly move it so you can play in any key in minor. And then also I want to go a step further and show you on the A string how to do it on there and how it's not that much of an adjustment. Alright, so the pentatonic scale. Let's do it in A minor. So first we have to find A, which is right here on the 5th fret. So open 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a good way to play this scale is just think the first finger stays on the 5th fret, and then you're going to use your pinky for some of the strings and your third finger for the others. It's always 2 notes per string. So here it is. And here it is explained a little bit better. 5, 8 on E, then 5, 7 on the next 3 strings. Last 2 strings, 5, 8 with the first finger and pinky just like before. So that's how you do it on the E string. Now what if we want A on the A string? Well, we already have that one. Let's go up to the 12th fret, the double dots here, and start there. So we're not going to include this low E string. We're going to start on there and do kind of the same pattern. First pinky, or 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14. Then the 12, 14 you can shift up just 1 fret, so it's 13, 15. And the last one's the same as before, 12, 15. And slide up. Let's get more into that. Alright, so what do I mean by more into that? Well, I always talk about my 3 most important things in music, which is musical knowledge, technical ability, and connected performance. So, musical knowledge. You should know all of the notes on the E string. And an easy way to get started is just the dots. So the first dot, which is normally the 3rd fret, G. Then the 2nd dot, A. 3rd dot, or 7th fret, B. 9th fret, C sharp. And then the double dot is the same as the open string. So it opens E, so is this one. So if I want to say play G minor pentatonic, you're going to just do that pattern I taught you. Right here. C sharp minor pentatonic right here. And the idea here is you're challenging your musical knowledge to instantly think of a note or a key and then find that on the E string. Then you can do the same thing on the A string. So like that G before. Just like I said with A, you can find it up here, but instead of being the 12, which is an A, you can go down to find the G. And you can find that slide to get the last one. Another big point I want to hammer home here. This scale, whether it's starting the E string or the A string, has multiple root notes or home bases or the beginning of the scale, which is a good way to start and end phrases. So the musical knowledge is which notes you're actually playing, and then the technical ability is going to be maybe starting and stopping your phrasing on a root note. So you could say the easiest root note is the first note and the 6th note. So 1, back to A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then start over with the root 1, or the 6th note that I just played. So just going down that scale, you can kind of get an idea. If you start on this note, go down, start on a root. You can kind of hear it has like a phrase to it. So you can start using that to your advantage. Maybe if you had a lick like this. It sounds good to start and end on a root note. So you can start having like 3-note pattern ideas and, you know, and end them musically on a root note. So we're kind of combining that musicality with technical ability. And of course, just playing up the scale does help, but I would suggest doing them in groups of 3 strings at a time. Now starting on the A string, then the D string, and the G string. And this is all just in this one scale that you can start not thinking about the notes and start thinking about how do I improve my playing? How do I get this idea into different ways of thinking about my mind connection with my hands and my ear connection with what's coming out of the amplifier or the guitar. So it's really a versatile scale when you think about how easy it is to play. And I really think a good way if you get stuck with like, oh, it feels like I'm playing the same thing over and over again, just try that different position. Let's go back to here. It's going to force you to try different positions and maybe start on the first finger instead of the pinky going down, something like that. Anything like this. Technique doesn't have to be perfect all the time, but this is a good way to build up a lot of different aspects of your playing with one simple scale and see the guitar quickly as the bass notes or the starting notes of the scale. Connected performance. So I want you to start building an opinion of these really common notes. Now penta means 5. So in A minor we got A, C, D, E, G, and back to A. So don't think too much about the letters, but try to think about how those notes feel in context to the root note. So this is always going to feel like home bass, but these other notes are going to give you a feeling. And you might like going to them in certain ways. So start building up an opinion of these notes so you can build up your own playing style. Like I really like going 1-5 and then going, just like I showed before, the third note of the scale, or it's the third of the minor scale, but the second note of the pentatonic scale. Anyway, the C, and then go to the D. And I really like that pattern for some reason. I don't know why. And you can start having fun with this, just exploring who you are through these notes. And they all sound good, so you're going to come up with something good. As long as you give it a chance and don't judge yourself, have fun with it. And that's a great way to like find who you are and challenge yourself, your musical knowledge, your technical ability, and have a human connection to your performance. So I really hope that helps. Let's take it to one more level here, and I think that's going to be it for the pentatonic scale. Highest level that you should play at is just try to get that speed. Then maybe double the top. And then just flow with it and do it to a metronome. Once you've got some crazy speed down or a lot of variations of the scale and you can play it in any key and jump around pretty nicely, it might be time to expand how you're playing the pentatonic scale or just add more notes and this sort of thing. So basically when you feel like you've conquered it, which I want this to be you wake up in the morning, hey, play the pentatonic scale, bam, you can do it. But once you have that and you really feel comfortable with it, that's instantly the time to challenge yourself and move on, add more notes, maybe try a major scale, do a lot of things to get yourself out of that comfort zone once you get into it, because it's always going to be about that, building foundations and then breaking them. So I want you to feel comfortable with this, but when you do finally feel 100% comfortable that you can, no problem. You wake up and you can play it, that might be time to start adding more notes, and eventually I'll put out something on that. But that's when you should move on from the pentatonic scale. And that was the pentatonic scale. So you can use it on the E string, on the A string, and it's easy to practice and build up your speed, and it's something that you should easily apply to memory and start exploring with. So have fun with it, and I'll see you in the next one.